So I'll try to keep this tutorial video brief because I want you to experiment with it yourself, but I just want to show you some of the options you have for Symbology. It's going to become important because for each project I want you to change the Symbology versus the default map or the reference map that I give you. So oftentimes I'll give you a map for an assignment that shows you exactly what I want you to make. So if you change the Symbology, then I know you're not, screenshotting the map that I've created and having you submit it. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new project, and I'm going to do it the way I showed before by selecting one in the correct coordinate reference system to start with, because I'm going to use the data from this lab. Then I'm going to add I'll just do it this way. I'm going to add our vector layers, and I like adding it this way just because it shows the shape files, I think, more conveniently. You don't see all the little supporting files, right? You just see the actual shapes. So airports, land cover, oops, not that one, rivers and regions. Ta-da! And they're actually ordered in the way that I want them to be as well. If you watched the previous tutorials, you'll know that it opened with a different color scheme, so it just completely randomized here. So let's start off by saying I want my airports to all be different colors. So I'll double click the layer, and this opens up my layer properties page, and it defaults to the Symbology tab. So up here, it'll start off by telling you you are using a single symbol. So all of the airports are going to share one symbol. Well, I don't want that. I want them to all have different symbols. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to click Categorized, and it says, okay, we'll categorize by what value. So remember, we have spatial data and we have attribute data. So each of these airports have different attributes, and one of those attributes is name. So I just want to have a different color depending on the name. So I'll let it randomize that, and then I'm going to hit the button that says classify. So that means classify all of the point features by their name, and it assigns random colors to each airport. So now if I hit apply, it makes all of my airports different colors. Perfect. I can also change that symbol if I wanted to. So you have a drop-down button that lets you change the color, or you can click on it, and this will tell you, okay, you're using a marker and you're using a simple marker. Well, maybe I want to change that marker. So by default, it selects favorites and shows you what those are, but there's quite a number of different markers. I could go down and hit topography, and that actually gives me an airport symbol. So I'll go ahead and hit OK with that and hit apply. And it's random colors of airplane symbols now. I could also adjust the type of airplane. Like I could say, for example, I want my airports to be facing 270 west. So I'll select both parts of the marker, type 270, and hit apply. And now all my airplane symbols face west. Let's go ahead and try labeling something or changing the symbology of something else. So maybe I want to know the names of all the major rivers. So I'll go into the properties. Let's say I'm fine with orange. I like the orange simple line marker. I think it looks good for the rivers. I'll just go to labels, and where it says no labels, I'll click single labels. And the value in this case will be description, so description of the river. So I'll hit apply. Ooh, doesn't seem to show us anything. I wonder why that is. It's because we're too zoomed out. So if we zoom in now, I can see it a little better. This is the Yukon. This is the Porcupine. Still don't know what this one is. You got to zoom in. Oh, it's the Tanana. So I don't like that. I want to see more. Well, we can change the size of our markers. So maybe I want them to be twice as big. And let's go through some of these other formatting options. So that's not, well, we'll just let that be as it is. We'll zoom in a little bit here so we can see our marker. Let's say I want my font to be a little bit different. I could go ahead and switch from Open Sans to Oh, let's say I want to be silly here. We'll pick a goofy text. Unispace. We'll make it sci-fi rivers. Maybe I want bold versus italic versus underline. Maybe I want my river name to be slightly transparent. Maybe I want a background because it's kind of hard to read. So I'll go to background and click draw background. Automatically it's going to pick a white rectangular background, so I'll hit apply. Not quite great because it doesn't fill out the furthest letter. So I might have to pick a buffer and add, yeah, there we go, 10, that worked. Alternatively, I think if you change the space or the alignment of your text, that would fix it. But in any case, there's a bunch of different things you can play with here. I could add a drop shadow, hit apply. Now it pops out of the map a little bit. That looks pretty nice. Right now, it is scale dependent whether it shows, which is strange because I haven't selected scale dependent visibility. But that's okay. We'll just let it be. Go ahead and click OK. Perfect. Now any river I zoom into, it's going to give me a label. Can do the same thing with the regions of Alaska. Go ahead and turn on labels, and we're going to do based on name. And now it's labeled all of our different boroughs. Once again, I could do all those different labeling options to make them look a little bit nicer. The more you play with this, the more you'll know what you like. I could also just change the symbology of my colors. So maybe I want each borough to be a different one. So once again, I'll go from symbol to categorized. Go ahead and do random color. Classify. Oop, that didn't work because I didn't select a value. Classify based on name. Hit apply, and now it's going to give random colors to all of my different Alaska regions. So I encourage you to go in here and play with the symbology as much as you want. There's so many different things you could do to make a nice looking map. And in a future tutorial, I'll show you how we can take this nice map viewer and turn it into an actual layout that we could make a PDF and print.